time to do what?
What is going on, everybody? This is Mike Hughes, and you are listening to the Shy Kid Podcast. I am the Shy Kid, obviously, Mike Hughes. Appreciate everybody tuning in because everybody thought I was dead. No, I am in there like swimwear. Cubs win, baby. Talk to me nice. Grimace, first of all, shout out to Grimace because he's keeping my guy Mike Powers and Germ Edwards at bay. 7-0 since Grimace threw out the first pitch. There's so many storylines, so many different things we're going to be talking about tonight. I'm hype. You're hype. This is a Cubs post-game live therapy session. I got the new Caleb Williams Air Jordan t-shirt from Clark Street Sports. Shout out to him. Got this as well, too. Little Bulls banner. 6 championships, 6 rings that I didn't witness a single one of, but still, it's still, we got D-Rose on the right or the left of us. Super dope to be here, man. Super dope to be back. I'm so excited to be here, man. I truly do apologize for just not doing a show for the last week. I would say we've been a little quiet. But man, I've been exhausted. I've been tired. We've been doing so much work at Give Us a Shot Network. So make sure you give us a like, a follow, a subscribe, because it sure does help us out a lot. If you're tired of seeing my ugly mug, especially without the beard, I know everybody hates it. I hate it. Everybody in their mama does. But you can check out Jerm Edwards, Corey, Bert, Mike Powers, Protect Our Queens, Marcus, Martin, everybody around the sun, and some new familiar faces. If you want to join the network, definitely shoot an email at Give Us a Shot Network. You can check us out on all social media platforms and the link in the bio below. We're going to be getting into it 24/7, talking everything Chicago sports. But tonight, we're having a Chicago Cubs therapy session. And I do want to say, before we get into the game, before we get into everything that transpired between Justin Steele, Logan Webb, the San Francisco Giants, and the Chicago Cubs, I do want to say our condolences, our hearts are out for the Mays family. Today, baseball and the world as a whole lost an icon, far more than just what he was able to do on the diamond, what he did for the culture, what he did for America, what he did for so many other amazing human beings on this earth. He spent time with those such as Ernie Banks and so many other amazing individuals like Ken Griffey Jr. I mean, we can go on a list of guys he mentored, guys he helped. Willie Mays has passed away. Definitely devastating. Definitely not something that you even want to breathe. You know what I mean? You grow up watching highlights on YouTube of this guy, and you hear stories of how much of a legend he was. And I mean, he's just one of the unstoppables. And always say legends never die, and Willie is definitely going to be remembered forever. So I want to give him some love, give him some flowers real here. We're going to probably do a little special in the next couple of days, a little talk. Maybe I'll try to get Bert, Germ, or Mike, or whoever wants to come hop on. We could talk a little Willie Mays special and get some insight from other baseball minds around the world on the impact that he had on and off the field. So that would be really dope. But with that being said, man, let's get into it. The Chicago Cubs win 5-2. Shout out to him. Praise Jesus. I mean, it's just, man. I mean, I got no words. I mean, it's been one hell of a year. It's been one hell of a year, to say the least. I don't have a lot of positive things to say. Obviously, in the words of Kevin from The Office, it's just nice to win one. It's just nice to win one. I'm just happy to be here. So it's dope. I'm excited. We lose game 1 in a horrible fashion. I mean, Heart Attack Hector was in full effect. Hector Neris should never see the lights of a closing role ever again. Truly do believe that. My guy Miles Porter was on the scene, saw it in person. The Cubs were winning 6-3, and they lose 7-6 in the top of the ninth. I mean, it's devastating. It is devastating. We have so many things we're going to be talking about tonight. Tonight's game as a whole, I want to give a couple shout outs real quick. Our top 3 players of the game. First and foremost, Ian Happ doing his thing, continuing to rake, continuing to be a huge piece and a huge asset, both offensively and defensively for this ball club. Everybody in the mama knows I have been preying on the downfall of Ian Happ for years. Everybody knows I am one of his biggest haters, but it's okay. I am completely okay with being wrong. I am completely okay with him just proving to me every single day that I don't know a damn thing and I shouldn't have this platform. Keep doing what you're doing, Ian. Shout out to him. Number 2, Justin Steele had himself a day. Wasn't a bad performance whatsoever on the mound. He was doing his thing. And number 3, Dansby Swanson. I love the Dansby dingers all year long. It's been great. Christopher Morel, he's leading the team right now with 13, 14 home runs. He had a big night tonight as well, but I'm going to give it to Keegan Thompson. Keegan Thompson coming in the closing role, closes this game out. We've seen him do it before. It's interesting for sure. It's interesting for sure to see what role Keegan's going to have, not only in the league, but on the Chicago Cubs roster. So, and I'm still rocking with the stash too. I'm rocking with it, Keegs. Don't change, no change. But yeah, man, it was a great game all around, especially after last night's brutal loss. But I want to be completely honest, man. There's a few conversations we're going to be having tonight about the Chicago Cubs that I think a lot of people aren't ready for. A lot of conversations that I think are going to piss off a lot of people, and that's okay. We come here to have a discussion. We don't come here to just, both say, oh yeah, you're so wise, you're so intelligent, you know exactly what you're talking about. If you guys don't like what I'm saying, that is completely okay. I'm willing to have an engaging conversation. I'm willing to go back and forth. We can agree to disagree. At the end of the day, all we know is we're bleeding Cubby blue together, no matter what. But I want to start that conversation off with that because I'm about to say something that's going to piss a lot of people off. Jed Hoyer and his hot seat on the Chicago Cubs right now. I was talking to my guy, Kevin Lapko. We were talking some Cubs earlier today, and this is by no means how Kevin feels. I'm not going to speak on how Kevin feels until we have him on the show. But, it's one of those things where him and I were discussing how everybody and their mama wants Jed Hoyer fired. And for me, this was my side of it. I truly think that is one of the most insane, idiotic takes that we can have as Cubs fans. And I want to say it like this. Theo Epstein was hired by the Chicago Cubs in 2011. The Chicago Cubs did not make the playoffs until 2015. They didn't win the World Series until 2016. So when you look at it from that perspective and understand that Jed Hoyer officially came into his role in 2021 prior to trading the core, if you really look at it from a numbers perspective, we are on track to have just as much success, if not more, by 2025, 2026, just like we did in 2015, 2016. That's the reality of the situation. I truly believe in the process that Jed Hoyer has put forth. I understand a lot of people want to show Shohei Ohtani. A lot of people want Pete Alonso or Vladdy Guerrero Jr. And a lot of people want more arms. It's no problem. I am not disagreeing that we do need to make some moves. But what I will say is this. We have not seen the process through yet. That is my biggest issue with Cubs fans hating on Jed Hoyer right now. We have 8 top 100 prospects in minor league baseball. That's a fact. Only 2 of them are currently on the team? 3 of them, maybe? Let's see. Ben Brown, who's out with an injury right now, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Michael Busch. So when you look at it from that perspective and understand that Cade Horton, Owen Casey, Matt Shaw, the list goes, Kevin Alcantara, so many other amazing players have yet to even seen AAA, nonetheless, make it to the big leagues. So I completely understand where everybody's coming from. Jed's not spending money. The Ricketts aren't spending money. What the fuck are we doing? We're a big market acting like a small market. You know what I mean? Like big fish, small pond. Like, what are we doing? I get it. I get it. Believe me, I do. But I also want to put this in your head. When Owen Casey, Matt Shaw, Cade Horton, Moises Balestros, and all these dogs come up, then what? Because if you're paying Pete Alonso $100+ million over the next 8 years, $200+ million. I don't know why I said 100. He's a Boris client. We know how that's going to go. If you're paying him all that money, how are you going to get these prospects to see the field? I'm not saying don't trade for him. I'm not saying this, and that. All I'm saying is trust the process. Trust the process that Jed has put together. We are still so ahead of schedule. This was a team that almost made the playoffs last year. This is a team that currently has playoff expectations. You bring in Cody Bellinger, a former MVP, Shota Imanaga, who's been a Cy Young candidate and is probably the only Cub deserving of an all-star appearance this season. You bring in Dansby Swanson. You have Nico Horner, Christopher Morel, Ian Happ, Seiya Suzuki. The list goes on. Justin Steele, Jordan Wicks, Ben Brown. We have pieces. So when these young guns come up, then what? That's when the fun starts. So I want to start that conversation off because everybody's calling for Jed's head right now, and I get it. I understand it. Everyone's frustrated. This team has playoff expectations. This season, in a lot of fans' eyes, is a disappointment if we don't make it. But let's also be real about the situation. We're way ahead of schedule than Theo Epstein was in 2014. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real here. I understand everyone's upset. But no one was saying shit when Junior Lake was seeing play every single day. You know what I mean? No one was saying anything when we were dealing with Darwin Barney. You know what I mean? Like, the reality of the situation is sometimes you just got to wait. Sometimes you just got to wait. And I'm going to contradict myself later in the next segment because trust, there's times to wait and there's times to push buttons. Now, I want to say my last thought on this is let's just be patient. When Owen, Casey, Shaw, and these boys come up, if we're still failing, then I will be the first one to admit Jed was wrong. But until then, I'm trusting the process. But our next segment, I don't have a lot of words. Because listen, from one Italian stallion to another, Miles Mastrobuoni, he's a dog. He's him. He's that guy. We're rooting for you, kid. Nicky Lopez, Miles Mastrobuoni. There's not a lot of Italians. Anthony Rizzo, we gotta love you. Joey Votto, whatever you're doing in Toronto, I have no idea. But I'm rooting for you always. But I'm gonna say this right now. Mike Tauchman, the Palatine Pounder, goes on the IL for the 15-day IL with a groin strain suffered in Game 1 against San Francisco the other night. Yesterday morning, or I guess I should say this past morning, we find out that Miles Mastrobuoni has been called up to the Chicago Cubs. Miles Mastrobuoni, who's batting under 200 on the year. Miles Mastrobuoni, who doesn't contribute a single fucking thing to this organization, has been called up, the infielder, to replace Mike Tauchman, who was an everyday center fielder. What are we doing? Because for me, here's my thing. Here's my big issue. Here's my conversation that I want to have with you guys today. You let me know if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll eat crow. Why is Brennan Davis not here? Why is Alexander Canario not here? I understand Pete Crow Armstrong's here. Michael Busch is here. Cody Bellinger, Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ. Cool. Checking off all the boxes. Owen Casey has been dominating in AAA Iowa. He was literally the face of spring training baseball for the Cubs. He's been great. Fine. You don't want to bring him up. It's too early. Brennan Davis, who has been in this system and a former number one prospect in the Cubs system since what, 2019, 2018, 2019? He, for the first time in 3-4 years, he's fully healthy, and he has over 10 home runs on the year, over 30 RBIs. He's doing it. So whatever you want to do with Brennan, that's fine. But if you're just going to keep him in Iowa, you're wasting his time and our time. Bring him up. See if he can handle the bigs. If he can, cool, keep him. If he can't, but he kind of showed a little progress, cool, ship him off. If he shows progress and you just don't fucking want him, that's fine. Ship him off. I mean, you're bringing up a 30-plus-year-old veteran is doing nothing for this organization, especially when he's not even batting his weight. Let's be real. Can't even hit his weight. Couldn't hit water if he fell off the fucking Titanic on a cold, crisp April night. Makes no sense in the world. I mean, hey, listen. Alexander Canario. Who leads the Cubs in batting average this year? It's fucking Alexander Canario. Now, 22 at-bats, small sample size, 11 Ks in those 22 at-bats. So, you know what I mean? Couple dingers here and there. But he's batting 273. You can make oh my God. I don't even know what to say. I have no words. Miles Mastrobuoni being on this roster, Nick Madrigal being on this roster, Patrick Wisdom being on this roster gives me hemorrhoids. I mean, bro, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know if that's a Craig Counsell thing. I don't know if that's Jed saying, yo, you're not allowed to bring up Owen or any of these guys, Canario, Brennan, whoever. I don't know. But it's like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. This is not helping the organization get better whatsoever. And like I said earlier, trust the process. These guys have to spend time in AA, in AAA before we could just bring them up. I would love Matt Shaw to be an everyday third baseman for the Cubs as of right now. He's just not ready. He's in AA. He's doing his thing with the smoke show. But, Owen Casey, he's been in AAA since the beginning of the year. He's raking. Alexander Canario has been there for over a year now. Brennan Davis has been there for like 2-3 years. So, like, it just, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's really one of those conflicting conversations where it's like, I don't know what these guys have to do for Jed Hoyer and Craig Counsell to give them an opportunity. Miles Mastrobuoni should not see daylight at the friendly confines at all. Like, you should have somebody who is promising, a young cornerstone piece to this franchise, a pillar to a championship caliber team. Owen Casey, Brennan Davis, Alexander Canario, whoever it may be. Moises Balestros, you just brought him up to AAA. I mean, there's so many choices. We're bringing up David Bodie, Nick Madrigal, Patrick Wisdom, and Miles Mastrobuoni. Be fucking for real. We got to be better. Let the kids play. Let them play. If they're not great, cool. It's only a 15-day IL. It's not like you're marrying the fucking guy. You can always bring him back down. We don't want to mess with his development. You had no problem rushing Michael Bush. You had no problem rushing Ben Brown, Jordan Wicks, Pete Crow Armstrong, Ian Happ, all these other players that we've rushed. Nico Horner was rushed, for fuck's sake, and it worked out perfectly. Not saying we have to rush everybody. Let guys go at their own pace, but if they're dominating in the minor leagues, why not give them an opportunity? Shit, you had Matt Mervis, who in less than 365 days last season or 2 seasons ago went from single A, double A, triple A, the show. And you threw him out there and made him battle with Trey Mancini and Eric Hosmer in small sample sizes with David Ross as his manager. Inconsistent playing time. And then you blamed him for it, brought him back down. Boo-hoo, you're not good. What? Like, I just don't get it. If you're going to play the game of let them develop, then bring them up, that's fine. But don't be inconsistent. Don't pick and choose when you bring guys up. I'm going to rush him, but I'm going to make him wait. I'm going to rush him, but he's going to wait 3-4 years. What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's just so many levels to it. I'm excited to see what this team and the future of this team holds, but it's just so frustrating to when that's going to happen. But I believe it's going to happen. We got a couple more conversations before we get out of here. This is just a therapy session, post-game show. We're going to be doing a Chicago Sky show tomorrow morning. We're going to be talking Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, everything around the sun. We got Caitlin Clark coming to the Shy this weekend. Going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Give Us a Shot Network. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere around the sun, or our website. We got a new Grimace t-shirt out there, so definitely show that some love. 7-0. But yeah, man, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm curious to see how this team continues to grow, continues to develop. Great win tonight. Not mad about it whatsoever. But we're back at it tomorrow. You know what I mean? We got to get a series win. I cannot remember the last time the Cubs got a series win at Wrigley Field. So until then, man, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you guys being here as always. I'm going to check you guys out a little bit later. Everybody have an amazing night. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at theshy.kid for pre and post game Chicago Sky interviews with Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso, and many more. Chicago Cubs, Bears, Bulls, Hawks, Sky, all Chicago sports content. Sometimes we're even dogging the White Sox. And make sure if you want to check out our daily podcasts, you could follow us at the Give Us a Shot Network. You can also find me at giveusashot.com. So until then, check you guys out later. Shout out Grimace. Shout out Mike Powers for being a champ. Him and Peyton doing their thing. 5 RBIs on the day. MVP, baby. You'll love to see it. Shout out Jerm and the boys. Until then, go Cubbies, baby.